Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're doing well. Today I thought I'd make a quick video. It has been a while since I posted anything, but I thought I'd make a quick video and maybe help some of those new growers out who are worried about the state of their carnivorous plants this time of year. So we're about a quarter to halfway through November, and you'll start to notice, or probably have noticed already, that your carnivorous plants are starting to change. And so what I have directly in front of me here is a weed, first off, but the filiformis. And now this one I believe is California Sunset or Dreamsicle, one of those. But as you can see, if you're a new grower, this would be freaking you out, right? Because for all intents and purposes, this plant looks dead, especially when you have some others like Bonata that are still growing. This in front of me is Longifolia, a different type of what's called a Utricularia carnivorous plant. But so not all carnivorous plants go dormant. The ones that do are called intermediate, and the two here, the filiformis and the Bonata, are in fact intermediate and will go dormant. However, what I want to do is help you through some sort of fears that you might have. Now, filiformis will tend to go dormant sooner than a Bonata and some other types of intermediate carnivorous plants. And what they'll do is they'll go, and it can happen pretty quickly depending on the amount of light that you have and or how the weather as far as temperature drops. And the leaves will die off very quickly. But before that starts to happen, you'll notice a little nub in the center of them that will start to grow. And let me see if I can find one of those to show you. So I knew I had one over here that I could show you. This one is a little Floridana. This is a baby. This is a filiformis that has not gone dormant yet. But you'll notice right there in the center is this little fuzzy ball that's starting to grow. That is called a hibernacula, and that hibernacula is what's going to hold all the energy in, and pretty soon, as temperatures continue to drop, these leaves will die off, and what you'll have left is either a bunch of brown dead leaves, and underneath that will be that hibernacula, or you'll get rid of all the leaves and you'll have just that little bud there. Have no fear, that is perfectly natural and what you want to see. And that means that your plant is simply going dormant for the winter. Now, if you look here, you'll notice you don't see any of those fuzzy hibernacula here. And that's not always going to be the case, right? Some of them, the hibernacula looks like almost like little dried pine cones that haven't opened all the way. And I'll show you some right here. As you see here, those little things are hibernacula. And they're storing all that energy underneath all this dead brown foliage here. And when the temperature starts to warm up in spring, that energy will be released and it'll start putting forth a ton of new growth. And as you can see, because I'm in Florida and we don't have very, very strong winters, it is 98% dormant, but there's still a little bit of life here and there. Now, we will get down in the 20s, maybe once or twice, and maybe even the 30s a few times. So I fully suspect that this will completely go brown, but this is not dead. Now, what should you do if it looks like this? You can go ahead. So sorry about that. I had to take a brief pause. So what should you do if your plant looks like this? Now, there's not a whole lot that you need to do. I could go through and remove all this dead foliage if I would like, and have it just be the hibernacula, but I'm actually going to keep it there because it will help sort of insulate those hibernacula and help keep them safe against cold weather. Now, there is a caveat to that, is they also want airflow, and so that can in fact hurt it sometimes if it's too wet. But when you have the cooler conditions, you want to reduce the amount of water that they're getting, that they're sitting in, then that will also keep it from getting any sort of rot to it. Also, bottom watering and not top watering will help with that tremendously. Now, the way that you'll know that these hibernacula are good is when you touch them, they'll be very firm, and that lets you know that they're good. If they're soft, there's a good chance that they have rotted on you. Now, Some of the larger bundles will have multiple hibernacula, and that means that there are going to be multiple growth points. And in spring, you can divide those up if you would like to have multiple different plants. Or you can keep them together like this, and all this pot, for the most part, other than the sides, will be completely full. Now let's talk about watering. When you water them, you want to keep them still sitting in water, distilled reverse osmosis and or rainwater, but you don't have to keep the water level as high. Now, if you are going to experience some very, very cold, it could be a good idea to keep it a little higher water levels, because most of your rot is going to come from freezing on the side of the pot. But for the most part, you don't want them sitting in deep water for long periods of time. Just have them in a good amount of water to keep the soil moist, maybe about an inch or two. And other thing to note is not all your plants are going to go dormant at the same time, and that's okay. Bananas will tend to hang on longer, and if you're living in Florida like I do, they may not go dormant at all. They tend to do better with skipping dormancy than other intermediate plants. Well, I hope that this has helped maybe assuage some of those concerns that your Filiformis is not dead, but in fact just going dormant for the winter, and this is following that life cycle that it has evolved to do. I hope that you have a wonderful day and a wonderful week, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.